What's up, everybody? Ice Rice.
Aldo Vapor Rivera.
Today we spent some family quality time. Unfortunately, my family wasn't allowed to be there, but we were celebrating something. His wife and I worked together, and we both passed a massive test to move on to positions where we are hoping to move to supervisors and all that type stuff. So we are pretty excited about that.
Yep. My wife did great. I gotta give my wife support. She did a super job. So tonight she's gonna get some super dong.
Done and dong. No offense against her, but I got a better score. You know,
Hi, Felicia.
It's just because I'm black. You know how it is. We're oppressed, but we're still great. But regardless of that, we had a good time. We went to shout out to Smoky Bones. Toss that out there. I know we're probably not allowed to use that stuff, but Smoky Bones. It was great food, great drinks.
Bones.
Love all the people out there. Alyssa, the manager, is amazing. Jay, who makes the best mojitos in all of our town, did a solid job tonight. Thank you for that. Here we are sitting together.
Sir.
We talked tonight. Obviously, we can't do a vlog every single week because we both have our own families, our own jobs. So it takes a little bit out of our agenda, but we're going to try to do it at least once a week and kind of go from there. Hopefully you guys like our videos. I know we don't always talk about the stuff that you want to talk about, but we talk about real life bullshit and things that are on our mind.
If you want us to talk about something, especially the
comment right here.
Yup. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button.
Tom Rice right there, and
Aldo Vapor Rivera.
Is it Aldo Vapor Rivera?
Well, actually, it's Vapor 620. You can't.
There you go.
VAPER 620.
It'll show up regardless. We have. I've been paying attention to heavily. He hasn't so much, but we both have a passion for boxing and mixed martial arts.
Oh, I knew we were gonna come up with this. McGregor and Mayweather. I bet.
You have to, man. The fight is at the end of this month, and all of this footage has been leaked. Honestly, I like the fighter, but Paulie. Paulie's a commentator for. What is it, Showtime? He's an amazing fighter. He's a two-time box champion in 2 different weight classes. I think he's more times boxing champion, but he's in 2 different weights. And he's a Golden Glove, obviously. I'm pretty sure he was either on the Olympic team or he was an alternate for the Olympic team. He's a solid freaking dude. Nothing against him. But I watched that video, and that push down that he was talking about is not a push down. That is a straight left that collapsed him from McGregor.
Yep.
McGregor said, or no, actually Paulie said 6 months ago that he would be able to kick the shit out of McGregor with one hand tied behind his back.
I don't know about all that. Let's get something straight up. You saw the video.
Yeah.
I saw the video. There was no push down. McGregor caught him. That's it. He dropped.
Paul said that he wasn't in 12-round shape. He just got off the flight, and they said, hey, tomorrow you're doing 12 rounds. And instead of being a professional and saying, hey, bro, I'm not ready for 12 rounds, he was like, I'm good for 12 rounds. Let's do it. His pride got in the way. And according to Dana White and Lorenzo Fertitta, he took a 12-round beating, and from the shit that I saw, he took a 12-round beating. He got the shit kicked out of him. They said that they'll literally give the how many minutes of the video for 12 rounds. I don't know how long it takes anymore because of inner time. I don't know if they took like a minute like real boxing, or if they took a couple minutes, if they talked about stuff, if they saw how everything was going. But even one of his really good friends, shout out to Brendan Schaub, saw the video with it's actually on the Joe Rogan Experience. Shout out to Joe Rogan. He literally said straight out, like, there's no cuts in between that video. This is not a fake video. You can tell straight up that this dude was getting lit up. I'm pretty sure before all of that footage was shot, he got rocked before that. But as soon as the video starts, he catches a starching left hand.
I was about to say that.
And it kind of like caught him, and then it goes, I think, a grab. After that, a couple like little shady boxing moves that McGregor throws at him, and then they, They come out, they center, and by the way, this is all done in front of a legit USADA sanctioned referee. This is real boxing matches. 12 rounds. This is him, literally, McGregor literally hitting Paul, or Paulie, whatever you want to call him, and he just catches him with this thundering left, and you just see him like flop. And Paulie tried saying that it was a push down. There was no push down there. It wasn't even close. If you even look at the picture, like, he's out like this, and Paulie's over there by, I don't know if you guys can see this, but Paulie's all the way over there. Yeah, right there. He's literally laid out.
I think the biggest thing right now is that I think.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. Little technical difficulties.
I think the biggest thing that they're complaining about now. Do I think that Paulie and McGregor are really doing something in this? Yes, I believe that this has been sanctioned for the property, and the referee has been a professional referee. He's newly sanctioned because referees have to register. They're just like cars. They have to re-register just to be legit because they're taught new things, new rules, new boundaries, no matter what.
The number one thing about this wasn't a what do they call it?
It wasn't a straight up like boxing match for title.
No, but it wasn't a what the hell they call them? Like when they do the Ultimate Fighter, it wasn't like a
exhibition.
Exhibition. There you go. Yeah, it wasn't an exhibition fight. No. It wasn't a fight. It wasn't an exhibition fight. This was just sparring, but it was sparring with a sanctioned referee because obviously Conor McGregor has to get to know all the proper rules.
He has to get to know
if
the
someone
rules.
goes down, he can't like toss a knee, he can't toss a kick, he can't toss elbows. It's just hands.
Or when he's punching, he can't throw his elbow in.
And the biggest development of this whole fucking thing, excuse my language, this whole freaking thing is Mayweather said yes, and so did USADA for 8-ounce gloves. Do you realize how much of a freaking advantage that gives our boy McGregor?
Yeah.
This is a dude that comes from, I think UFC is 4 ounces, boxing 16. So you're literally like cutting into the middle.
They're pretty much using sparring style punching bag gloves.
Pretty much,
what
yeah.
It pretty much is. I think
it doesn't hurt your knuckles enough. But if you get clipped with it, you're going down and tasting dirt.
It doesn't matter if you have a 16-ounce glove, let alone a 4-ounce glove. You hit the wrong way, you can break your hand, you can bust your wrist.
Either one of them right now.
Exactly. Like they both got two. They got two fucking so much sanction in their own personal life. And now this is a big deal because it's not far away that this match is going to be something serious. It's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Now, do understand, there's always been a competition between other types of physical contact ring action. Muhammad Ali, Gorilla Monsoon. A boxer never steps into a wrestler's ring.
UFC 1. There was, I forget what his name is, but...
Machida.
Gracie, yeah. Gracie showed up and fought a dude, and I forget his name, but he had one boxing glove on him. They literally call him, and you guys can look it up on Google.
Chemo.
No, Chemo was he was like a
that was before he got the
sambo. He was a sambo karate artist.
Yeah.
But there's this one guy. He's a African American gentleman. He literally wore one boxing glove, and to this day, he literally says that it's the worst mistake that he ever made because Gracie literally came out, romped him down to the ground, and he couldn't grab anything because he was wearing one 16-ounce glove. One 16-ounce glove for boxing, and he literally got the crap beat out of him.
Well, you gotta remember back in the 90s when UFC
we didn't even know what MMA was at the time in America.
Well, back then it wasn't even known as MMA. They called it UFC. That's how it started.
It was
Ultimate Fighting Championship. It was based on the fact of any competitor can get it. Any competitor can do it.
And you would fight for 45, 50 minutes if you had to.
Or actually, it wasn't even sanctioned on what time they had.
Yeah, well,
it was more of
they didn't have sanctioned groups.
No,
they didn't have
no
steroid
weights,
groups, sanctioned groups.
They didn't have no weight classes. They didn't have no gym.
Royce Gracie won the whole thing, and he actually, I think, at one point fought a 340-pound like wrestler or something like that, like a fake like. I want to say fake because I don't know who he was. I forget who he was, but he was a really big guy, and he.
Oh no, that was a legend himself, Ken Shamrock.
Well, he beat Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, he beat Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock pulled
him down and choked him out.
Gracie had an advantage because he was always wearing the karate gi, and back then there wasn't a regulation on what you wore.
Yep.
You showed up, you came in, that's it.
That's how he beat Chemo. He pulled his hair, brought him to the ground.
Yeah.
He had
the ponytail.
Real quick. He literally grabbed him by his, because he's actually he's from Hawaii, Samoan. He's actually Samoan. He grabbed him by the back of his hair, and you can watch it on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube as well. He brought him to the ground and just choked him out, and you could see how frustrated Chemo was because he's never been in a fight where you could just grab hair and just devour people. But there was no rules, there was no time limits, and you fought consecutively all night. There was no bullshit. It was just, if you beat this person and you're in the next round, kind of like beer pong, like nowadays for us. We play beer pong, you beat this group, all right, well, then you play in 10 minutes or whatever, the next group's up. Well, you play until someone has a winner.
Well, now, as you look at it now, the biggest thing now, how it all started from that to now, there's two different styles of fight.
Fully sanctioned sport.
Yep.
Men versus men, women versus women, weight classes, time limits, time in between. And this really sucks. I just found this out today, and it's because I've been working so hard lately and going crazy about studying all that stuff. Yep. But with this new fight coming up in Canada, I forget his name, but it's like Kwan or something like that. He fights heavyweight against Dos Santos. Dos Santos was just pulled from the fight. Ngannou, that's his name. He was Dos Santos was just pulled from the heavyweight UFC heavyweight fight because there's a potential of him breaking one of the like PED rules or marijuana rules or whatever it is that has to go with the UFC actual
It's UFC sanctioned, but the thing is,
it started in USADA though. Yeah,
it's in Toronto, and the thing is, with Toronto and their marijuana,
well, it's not just them. It's in general. It's so close to the fight because I guarantee it's not marijuana. If anything, because he's a heavyweight, it's probably, and it'll come up eventually. Because I've been watching Dos Santos since I've been watching the UFC. Yeah. He is not a dirty fighter. He's not an asshole. He's never done anything wrong. He's never been caught for anything. I guarantee it's something in his supplement that caught him off guard.
There was a lot of supplements out today that are.
Anderson Silva was caught one time with an issue, and it was because he was taking little blue pills. Well, he was trying to get a little wiener advantage, and it has a steroids type substance in it that threw him off.
The thing is, for when Silva broke his leg, and
gruesomely
smashing
it over top of Chris Weidman's kneecap. Chris Weidman, you can actually see, because a lot of people said that it was bullshit. He said straight out after the fight, listen, I know he throws a lot of kicks. I've been practicing that block for months and months and months and months. And then everyone was like, you're a bullcrap liar, blah, blah, blah.
But you gotta remember,
he literally released the footage of him blocking kicks, just checking him, with his kneecap, checking him. And then shattered his knee. Oh, it was gross. It's one of the fights that I can't watch.
Yeah.
Another fight with him involved in it that I can't watch is the first Rich Franklin fight. It was just such a one-side, because I love Rich Franklin. I hate the fact that he went out the way that he did, losing to Kung Lee in a couple seconds, getting knocked out. Yeah, he never got a goodbye fight. Yeah. But he became one of the presidents and CEOs of, I think it's One Championship. And it sucks to watch him fight. I swear, I was sitting there watching the fight, and I was like, I can't. Like, it literally, it was like, to me, it was like watching my brother get the shit kicked out of him. Yeah. And I couldn't do anything about it because it was on the TV. And that's why I didn't watch the second one. I couldn't. I knew he was going to beat him again. Rich Franklin is an amazing fighter, but he just had nothing to do with that Muay Thai clinch. It was just knee. He literally redirected Rich Franklin's nose to the left and then to the right with knees. And then Rich Franklin, after he beat Jason McDonald, Travis Lutter, and Yushin Okami, finally got a chance back at the belt, and I didn't even want to watch it. And it was in Cleveland. He was wearing Cleveland colors. Oh, actually, no, he was wearing his usual brown and pink. And it was just a one-sided beating of, like, it hurt me. Because that's one of my favorite fighters ever. And he never got to go out like a champ.
But now we're going to get to see something for the very first time.
Boxer versus MMA champion. Two-weight champion, by the way. And before this, King of the Cage, shout out to King of the Cage, he was a two-weight champion in King of the Cage, too. When he first came into the UFC, Conor McGregor said, I will be a two-weight champion eventually in the UFC. The first person to ever do it simultaneously. The only reason that he's lost a belt is because it's been stripped from him. The champ right now is Max Holloway. He beat Max Holloway, but Max Holloway is on an 11-fight win streak after that. And the champ before that, Jose Aldo, obviously we know, beat him in 13 seconds. So Conor McGregor just said on, I think it was Sports, I'm not going to say anything, but it was a sports, it was one of those things. I just didn't want to give more credit. I think it was actually Sports Illustrated or Sports Center or one of those things. But Conor McGregor literally said, I dismantled the champion, and the ex-champion I beat in 13 seconds. So I'm the real champion. How can you deny me? So he said if he comes back, he's not even worried about the money because of how much money he's making off of this fight. He said he will come back and just whoop anybody's ass, and he'll fight two champions in the same night just because of the simple fact that he actually believes that he is the undisputed two-weight champion. He'll fight them both in the same night. This dude is insane.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is like this. This better be a good fucking fight between McGregor and Mayweather. The biggest thing of all is that they have to be for real of this fight. Not this bullshit of getting this all hype like they did with the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. Or they did with the...
horrible fight.
What, Tito
Ortiz versus Chael Sonnen.
No. Tito Ortiz versus Mayweather. I think it was Tito Ortiz. No.
I'm talking about MMA.
Cotto.
Oh, yeah.
Cotto and Mayweather. Like, these are fights that, got so hyped, so riled, and then all of a sudden, they went from Puerto Rican
Spain,
to
right?
Mexican. Yeah.
Not Cotto. The dude, it starts with a C.
Cotto.
No, Cotto's, he's not from Spain. Who's the redheaded dude?
Canelo.
Canelo.
He's from Mexico.
Well, is it Mexico?
Yeah, he's Mexican.
Okay, I thought he was, all right. Yeah, my bad. I apologize, guys. But
that's an albino Mexican right there.
Like, that was like a really good fight for fans, like that are really big into.
It was too hype.
I stopped paying attention after.
See, that was sad because they put Mayweather against these fighters, man, and like these fighters were like nationally fucking cherished. Canelo had no losses. Got a loss to Mayweather.
Cotto hasn't lost since.
Cotto already has losses. He already had losses.
Actually, two Pacquiao, right?
No. He had a loss to what the fuck?
I thought he had one to Pacquiao, and then he knocked Pacquiao out.
No, one's to Pacquiao, and the other one's to the other Mexican boxer.
And then he knocked Pacquiao out, though.
That he put plaster in his
Oh,
raps.
and yeah.
I forgot his fucking name.
But remember when in the Pacquiao fight, the last one when he got knocked out, Pacquiao was kind of like this.
Yeah.
Kept on throwing his chin out and pop.
No, that was that other dude. That was the other dude. That was Marquez.
Oh, Marquez. So he beat Marquez the first time. I apologize, guys. If you ask me anything about MMA, I know a lot about MMA. I'm like Skip Bayless right now. Yep. MMA is my football. I know a lot about football.
Oh, yeah.
Boxing is my new thing I'm trying to get into. I know a lot about it when it comes to certain fighters, but when it comes to their records, I will be the first to admit that I am not the greatest, so I do apologize about any inconspicuous, stupid knowledge that I toss out there or any idiocracies. It's not because I'm trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just because what I've read, there are a lot of inconsistencies about boxing.
There's so much.
There's a lot of fights that, honestly, Mayweather probably should have lost.
He should have lost the fight with Cotto, because the only person that I ever seen that
he knocked him out when they were trying to talk.
No, that was
I thought that was Cotto.
No, that wasn't Miguel Cotto. That was
Was that Marquez?
No, that wasn't Marquez. That was the other kid, Ortiz. The other Victor Ortiz.
Victor Ortiz.
Victor Ortiz.
He hit him like a cheap shot, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," and then Mayweather just haymakered him.
He fucked up. One, you headbutted the person.
Yeah, but come on now. I watched a guy one time in UFC.
Yeah, but even he said, you protect yourself at all times.
Literally, I watched a dude. It's also because he made probably like $14 million off the fight. I'd tell you whatever you wanted to hear, too.
But not only that, the referee, that's where the fucking referee...
The referee should... Well, he was in the middle. He punched over top of the referee.
No. When he separated him, took the point away, and they both lined back up, he said, fight. And he hugged him, and that was it. That's where he messed up at.
He hugged him and then threw a punch.
Yeah.
Come on, tell me that's not fucked up.
No, it's not fucked up.
I watched it. I think it was a Rob Font fight. He was actually on the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah. I remember. I think it was Manny Gamburian. They were fighting, and Manny Gamburian, when they came in, they bumped. Yeah. Literally, I swear to God, and it was like as soon as they bumped, it was like threw a punch, and it was like, what the fuck? Like, how cheap are you, bro?
That's what happened. But
that's not sportsmanship to me.
It's not sportsmanship, but you got to think about it now. And now it has developed all the way up that there is no other boxer. There's no other boxer. So the only one that opened up a challenge, well, the two MMA fighters that ever opened up a challenge to Mayweather, Ronda Rousey, when she was still champion, and now McGregor. But McGregor was the one I was really confident about this.
Well, because the difference is McGregor.
My money's on McGregor, but I say it like this, and I'll say to everybody right now on YouTube: if McGregor does not put him down within the first 4 rounds, it's going to be given to Mayweather. If it passes 4 rounds,
and that's only because it's a boxing match. I guarantee if McGregor outboxes him the whole time, he still won't get it.
I'll say it like this: I'll call it
on. If McGregor doesn't put him down, he won't get the bid.
I'll say it like this: if McGregor doesn't put him down, it shows that a pro couldn't do it. So this average Joe right here, I would dedicate and offer myself as a punching bag for an exhibition match.
Hell yeah.
You heard it from me, y'all. I ain't fucking playing. I'll challenge you, Mayweather, if you win against McGregor.
I'll join in on that.
What else you gotta lose? Fight an average Joe. Give somebody an exhibition shot. What the fuck? Give me a couple million.
Yeah, you don't even need to give me a couple million. Give me a couple thousand. Jesus.
Fuck that. If I'm gonna fight you and you're gonna start banging on me, we're gonna bang.
Just grab a little bit of the meat and shave a little bit off for the rest of us.
Yeah. That's all I say.
Straight out, though, this is what the whole conversation was about. What we started with is that whole Paulie beatdown.
The Paulie beatdown.
This is what happened, and this is exactly what Conor McGregor said during the whole, whatever you want to call the clown tour that was the McGregor tour. It was a guy that called him out a while ago and said, I could beat him with one hand tied behind my back, and at the end of the tour, McGregor literally said, bring Paulie in, I will kick the shit out of him.
Literally.
That's almost literally. He said, I will kick the shit out of him. They paid this guy money to come out, and the difference between the McGregor camp and the Paulie camp is that McGregor knew what was going on. Paulie just accepted it. And then got his ass hurt when pictures of him started showing up of him getting his ass beat, and then the video showed up. And that's why instead of coming up to McGregor and say, hey, listen, I don't fucking like what you did, I'm leaving, he was brought back to the house, everybody went to go food shopping, and by the time they get back, all of his food were gone. I mean, all of his clothes were gone. Nobody knew that he was leaving. And then all of a sudden, the next day, he's on like Sports Center, ESPN radio, Philadelphia radio, New York City radio. Because what is he, from like Brooklyn, the Bronx, something like that?
Yeah. Or, you know what? I'm not even gonna put no more effort into this because you know what, Paulie? You did what you did. You talked this shit, and you look. The proof is in the pudding. That's it. But I'm gonna say it like this. We're gonna get it straight down. We're gonna say it like how I always say it. McGregor and Mayweather coming August 26th is going down. That is it.
Paulie offered a fight. Conor McGregor, win or lose against Mayweather next year, or at the end of this year, or actually, next year, for in Ireland to do a St. Patty's Day fight.
Now you know damn well he's not gonna do it.
The company that he works for, Showtime, literally said, "We're not interested, bro."
Nope.
They're not even interested because they saw the same fight that we saw.
It's not in Vegas.
No one's interested. No. You got your ass whooped. We apologize. We know that you're a 2-time champion in 2 different weight classes. You're an amazing boxer.
What do I think about you?
I think your time has come. No, I don't. I feel like he's an amazing guy. He just got into a bad situation in the wrong time. He's fighting a much younger fighter who happens to be at the top of his game, and he's about to get his ass whooped. And he did. And he didn't know that it was coming because he paid attention to all the pretty colors and glitter.
Yep.
They sent him first class. They gave him a house. They did whatever they wanted to with other boxers that brought him. Yeah, right.
Give me a house. I'll fucking fight.
I'll get punched in the face for a house and a brand new fucking jet and shit like that flying me out. Whatever, guys. It was a pleasure speaking with y'all. I hope you have a great evening. We got a lot of other stuff on our ears, but we got to move on.
We're going to move on this, but the thing is, August 26th, we're going to be here right before the fight starts.
Damn
and
right
we're going to say it like how it is.
I'm going to have it on that beautiful 70-inch screen in there, and we're going to watch it like crazy.
All I know is, if McGregor doesn't win, you damn well going to hear me all over YouTube.
And we'll still be here.
I'm going to be on my YouTube. I'll be on his YouTube. And I'm going to say it like this. I'll offer a fight to both McGregor and Mayweather. We'll call it Joe whooping ass.
That night's going to be a dual tube. It's going to be my YouTube and his YouTube. We're going to post videos all night on both of them, watching the fight, before the fight, after the fight, all of it. And we're going to give our
if you're going to give us something,
version of it all.
If you stood all the way to these 27 minutes, almost a half an hour of time of us talking and how we felt about certain situations, not only that are from the past of what UFC and boxing was to the comparison of what's happening right now, do understand it's 2017. It's time to put up or shut up. It's no longer of let's go here and see how it goes.
We're done fucking around. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
You know what I'm saying? If you like what it says, let's get us 100,000 likes. Let's get us 15,000 likes. Shit, give us 15,000 subscribers.
Let's start with 100 and work our fucking way up. That's all I'm worried about. Let's get a hundo. Toss it out, kids. Ice Rice.
Aldo Vapor Rivera, y'all.
Get it, guys.
Take it easy.
We'll see y'all later.
All right.